You understand? So LSU drove up the price. His stock rose as his salary rose. So Kellen Moore and Kellen Moore's late in the game too. So and we know
they are late in the game.
And Miss Gale is going. She's going to give him the money. Is she not? She's not going to go cheap.
They've been pretty good with staff salaries.
Oh man, what are they going to
do? They've been okay down there.
That part of it, the support of the owner, no, that you can't question that. So, but what do you do? I mean, Brian Kelly is the one that's struggling as a veteran coach, and it just kind of, I mean, it's a blow to him. I mean, because what are they going to offer the next D-line coach? Not what they're paying him.
Depends on who they hire. If they try to go, and I would imagine it had to be in the off season, deeper into the off season, they go try to hire a big time defensive line coach.
So why so many coaches? What's your theory there as far as defensive line coaches? How many is it now?
The next one will be 8
in a 6-year span. 5.
Since 2020.
Your theory?
Some of it has been bad hires, and some of it's been bad luck. You had one guy got sick. Then you had a coaching change in the middle of that. A couple of the guys just weren't very good. It hasn't all been just one thing. You've gone through multiple coaches. You've gone through multiple defensive coordinators. Like I said, one guy got sick. Some of this. One guy went to the NFL. With the Broncos, Kane. So it's not all one thing. I don't know. For the moment, I think that Kevin Peoples, spring starts here on the 8th. I would think that Kevin Peoples will take a bigger role. They'll maybe move an analyst or one of the GAs or something up to help out in spring. And I don't know what they decide to do.
Is this the first though for the Saints to hire an LSU coach? Oshawa worked for the Saints before he came to LSU.
I got to think about that one.
I think it is
off the staff. It might be. It might be. That one would require that one would require some thought. The speculation is going to turn to Eric Henderson, who is from Carr. Went to Carr.
Yeah, played at LSU.
Played at Georgia Tech.
Oh no, he went to. Okay, my bad.
Eric,
I'm thinking of the other.
He's a coach at USC. Right now, he is a big reason that they have recruited in Louisiana the way that they have. But I don't know that you can, and they made a pass at him 2 cycles ago. I forget exactly when it was. He would be somebody that you would pay a bunch of money to, but that's just speculation. Just because he's got some Louisiana ties. I don't know. For the moment, I think that Kevin Peoples, who coached the ends last year and did a really good job coaching the ends, and has coached the whole defensive line before, will take over most of those responsibilities.
Okay, but and let's play devil's advocate here as far as, okay, is it a big loss as far as recruiting? Because the old school recruiters, are they that important? Or are they that effective anymore when everybody just wants to know what the bottom line is?
Yeah, how much money do you have? Best defensive lineman in the state's at Carr. Okay, so there is something to the Louisiana tie there, but yeah, it's not your facilities anymore. It's not as much your relationship with the coaches anymore. It's how much money do you have?
Are the old school recruiters, the guys that Frank Wilson.
That's a reasonable question. I think the answer is a lot less than it used to be.
Oh, it's a
lot less
than
it used to be. I mean,
Joe still important. They still play a role.
Joe Sloan was almost paying property taxes in Michigan. He spent so much time there with Underwood, and a week before, it was like, hey, somebody offered me, more money. Thanks, but I'm out of here. The facilities used to be the big.
Not
thing.
Everybody's an Underwood situation.
Underwood's a special case.
From Michigan, but, I mean, the 3-hour flight away.
I grant you, Underwood's a special case, but money talks, and
always has.
Hey, really nice facility. I love the bowling alley and the waterfall. Where's my money? Okay, I love that this coach went to the same high school as me. Or where's my money? That's all any of them want to know. Where's my money? So that's. It is what it is. But this is a blow for LSU. It's a good good hire for the Saints. I mean, the guy's been a good defensive line coach. So just 10 days before spring, that wasn't in the game plan.
How impactful can defensive line coaches be in the NFL? How big was the Lions defensive line coach this year? I mean, are the Eagles?
Most of those.
Can you name him?
No.
Okay.
Most of the NFL position coaches are anonymous. Okay, they think he's impactful enough to offer him more money than LSU was, and LSU was paying him plenty of money. So they must think
she's going to give him a budget. He's not going to be. He's going to have a high, especially for the timing that they hired him. He probably. I hope he negotiated that even more. But he's so wet behind the ear. Who knows? I mean, one thing is, there's some more than Saints news, huh?
There's a lot more Saints news. I
I
stewed all the way to my Kings meeting last night. Okay, yeah. There's more.
Whoa, Charlie Brown, you kicked and fell on your ass again, huh? You kicked and fell on your ass again. Didn't you?
I want a whole segment. So tell me about the new menu items. I want a whole segment. Okay, I don't want to be squeezed on this. We got some new stuff here, Walkon.
Try to tell you, boy. The ribeye sliders are coming, and we're going to sample them today over here. Starting Monday at all locations of Walk-Ons all across the land. New menu items. We're going to trickle them out a few at a time, and one that's going to be out at every location starting Monday. The ribeye sliders, sliced ribeye, topped with the Swiss cheese, caramelized onions, Dijon horseradish, and garlic aioli. So, man, we're excited about that over here at Walk-On. So we'll be able to test them. But you've got all your Walk-On's favorites. And look, the more popular items, they're not going anywhere on the menu. But, the lower moving items, we're going to slide them over and kind of move some others in. So exciting over here. Of course, we're open all through the weekend. If you're to and from some of the Mardi Gras festivities and things like that, don't forget us over here at Walk-Ons, the original Walk-Ons in the shadows of Tiger Stadium.
Live at Walk-Ons, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Jackson Hewitt wants you to save money on tax prep. We're saving money by having our intern rap in this commercial.
Don't stress, Jackson Hewitt's got expert tax prep, $149 or less. Yo, some tax guys lie about price. They got hidden fees, that ain't nice. Ain't nice. Don't ignore MC Kevin's rhyme, because this deal's for a limited time. $149
for tax prep that's $149 or less. Hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
No cap.
Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Do you wake up with back pain? Does your neck hurt while working at your desk? Have headaches? Or maybe your shoulder hurts while lifting? Or your knee hurts when you run? Hi, I'm Robbie Bolton, owner of Evolve Physical Therapy and Sports. And my team fixes these types of issues every day. We use our hands to manipulate and stretch you back to a pain-free lifestyle. Come in for a free assessment today and see how we are changing the way therapy is done in Baton Rouge.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. At Parrish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parrish Construction and Roofing. Parrish built. Parrish built. Parrish built. From your hometown, parrishbuilt.com.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend, sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
K to Z when window coverings.
Brandon Barton here, and I want you to join my expanding team at K to Z Window Coverings. If you're ready to work, we offer insurance, a retirement plan, competitive pay, a company vehicle, and my 26 years of experience to help you become a successful part of our team. We're blessed to be in high demand, so call me today. Don't let someone else get your job. Go to k2zblinds.com.
K to Z Window Coverings.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. And Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt.
Do you plan to travel, work part-time, or move somewhere warmer when you retire? At Edward Jones, we understand that no two retirement paths are the same. Contact your local financial advisor today.
In Baton Rouge, call Tyler Juneau. In New Roads, call Dean Martin. And in Gonzales, call Gene Fremo.
Edward Jones, member SIPC.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from the original Walk-Ons on Burbank on 1045 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Get the show on demand, LouisianaSports.net, 1045ESPN.com. Mickey Loomis meeting with the media yesterday at the Combine in Indianapolis. The biggest takeaways are, feel fortunate to have Derek Carr here, big-time quarterback in this league, blah, blah, etc. Looks like Carr is going to stick around. Sport Track just kind of speculating a little bit about what Carr's contract extension, and they have to extend him. Otherwise, there's no way to, keep the cap number straight. They got to, same old crap, take some of his compensation, put it to bonus. If their numbers are anywhere close to right, a full roster bonus conversion frees up $31 million in space, but it creates nearly $60 million in dead cap next year if they were to move on from him, which will be tough again. Loomis also said the Saints will be active in free agency much more than they were a year ago. So there is no indication that they will change quarterbacks, that they will change their approach to the cap. Go ahead.
You said same old crap.
Yeah, same old crap.
But that wasn't what you were saying previously.
I was hopeful. I was hopeful with a new coach that there would be a change in thinking. And you said Mickey Loomis is going to do what he wants to do. And I figured that would be the thing, but I thought I would be optimistic. It lasted almost a week. I'm done. I'm done. They are going to do, despite the fact.
At what point did the season ticket holders say we had enough?
Well, they raised the prices on them a couple weeks ago. So there's another.
That's real tone deaf marketing.
For a team that finished, with 5 wins last year, for a team that Derek Carr's been about a 500 quarterback with, that had no All-Pro players, nobody on the Pro Bowl team, nobody on the All-Rookie team, nobody in ESPN's top 100 on offense or defense. They had a special teams guy on the Pro Bowl, JT Gray. Other than that, that has one of the poorest drafting records in the last 5 years in the NFL, that has the worst salary cap situation in the NFL by far, and Mickey Loomis and has the worst odds, or tied for the worst odds to win the Super Bowl next year.
Who's most responsible for that?
And Mickey Loomis is the most responsible for all of that. Shots. And he's calling the shots, and he has immunity. So with all of those, everything I just told you.
And the owner's chummy with him, right? Basically family.
Yeah, Chummy's being kind. Okay, so he's unfireable.
And why we expect differently?
Because I chose to be optimistic for a week.
This is what you came up with on the ride to the King's dinner.
It's fixed. I'm done. There's you are on the Loomis train. I don't know, forever. Until
honestly, he is done, I can't I'm not setting myself up to be pissed off.
Right.
I mean, I'm not.
No,
As a season ticket holder, I mean, these people still. I'm watching Mayo's spread. Was it spread quarters or whatever on Sunday night? I mean, and people are like so upset and so this. I can't wait for this Sunday night. Is he going to do another one? I got to make sure.
I'm sure he does
maybe in between doing Bacchus. Is
Yeah.
Bacchus Sunday?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, maybe he's taking his Sunday off. I don't know, but I mean, it's you are a compromised, or you are in the, let's say, Carolina category now, the Cardinals category, the.
He's going to keep doing things his way, no matter. No, in the face of overwhelming evidence. I just laid it all out. Players, right? The whole thing. In the face of overwhelming evidence, he's going to tell you we're right there, and you can't do anything like. I thought yesterday. I said I'm trying to find a comp, and it was right in front of me. I said, this guy's LeVar Ball, who averaged 2 points a game in high school. He can beat Michael Jordan one-on-one, and believes it. Okay, but it's not that. He's Les Miles. He's Les Miles. Les Miles, who had a lot of success here, and the Saints have had a tremendous amount of success with Mickey Loomis as a general manager, whether he gets credit or not. A lot of success, but at the end, more people had disdain for Les Miles than appreciated the wins that he had, which included a national championship. Why? Because in the face of overwhelming evidence of the change in college football, he refused to modernize the offense, and eventually cost him his job. And so now Les Miles' legacy, correct me if I'm wrong here, among most LSU fans, is not appreciative of the things he did well. And he brought breathtaking talent. It's that guy just simply could not get it through his head that he had to change. And Mickey Loomis is going to go down the same way, that no matter the Saints won a Super Bowl with him as general manager, they won countless playoff games that they had never won before. And when they close the book on Mickey Loomis, whenever that is, it'll be that guy would not get it through his head that the way he was doing it was wrong and everybody else was right. That's it. That's my comp.
We good.
That is my one and only rant for the offseason. I mean, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done.
I am too. I was done before.
You were done before.
I was done before.
Congratulations, you beat me by 2 weeks or whatever.
That's all. I just standard operation.
I just chose to be optimistic for.
Why don't we let
Max?
Because the younger
He's
people aren't as bitter
yeah.
and crotchety. I'm glad. Welcome to the crew, Charlie. I mean, how can you have faith in Mickey Loomis? This guy said that Dennis Allen was on his way to Chuck Noll and Bill Belichick.
I know.
I mean, what freaking idiot says that?
I'm waiting
in public and smacks his gum while he's doing it.
I'm waiting for the trade up in the draft. That's all. That's all that's remaining.
Dude,
trade next year's number one to move up and get whoever. And I just wrote a column this morning about how they almost can't screw up this draft. You know why? Because they can take the best player available. You know why? Because they need a player at every single position. There's not a single position on the field that the Saints don't need help. Take the best player available, whoever you want.
When is the last time they haven't had a Pro Bowler?
Well, some of those Hazlitt teams were pretty bad. I'd have to look back, but.
Max, your thoughts? You're a big Saints guy.
Jimmy, it sounds like Charlie's off his King of Sucrose sugar high from yesterday. He's crashed down to earth.
Mardi Gras king cake was pretty good last night.
Learn to respect royalty when in the room.
I would
Max,
just
the king's pissed.
I'll say, just talking to some of my friends who are LSU and Saints fans, they're upset that Bo Davis is leaving because the Saints, we just know at this point are they have no chance next year. They're one of the worst. Have one of the worst odds. It is a helpless feeling. And for someone my age, by the way, the Saints have always been good in my lifetime. The Aints didn't really exist. I barely remember the 05 season.
Oh, they're back.
Good.
They're back.
So they are bad for the first time. For people my age, this is the worst the Saints have ever gotten. And so it is an unfamiliar feeling. And it is weird that Mickey Loomis, who has been around pretty much my entire lifetime, is now just a has-been at this point. That he's stubborn, clearly, in his ways. He's stuck. He's not going to change. But there's just so little hope because if you stick with Derek Carr, like even yesterday, there was some noise because Shedeur Sanders was walking around Indianapolis, and he had some hats on the back of his book sack, taking pictures with people, and one of the hats was a Saints hat. Even that little glimmer of hope is like, maybe they'll have a quarterback, and then you hear that Derek Carr is just going to stick around and get his contract kicked down the road.
Throws a nice ball.
Yeah.
United Community Bank, with locations for Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 50 years. Our great team of bankers, Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, David Henry, and Prentice Wilkes. Again, United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. It's like Colucci. It's like Colucci to pile on the Saints thing.
Cowboy fan? Come on, man.
Did I mention the Cowboys? Did I mention
No.
the Redskins or Commandos before this one? I mean, what are the Browns, the Bengals? I mean, what are the other compromised organizations that all lose? They change all the other things, but the one constant is
Uncle Alex. God bless. God rest his soul. Charlie, we go to the games because we have a good time, but the Saints will never be good until John Meekum sells the team. And I didn't know. I didn't believe it. They'll never be any good until Mickey Loomis is gone. That's it.
When do the season ticket holders? I mean, they got to speak up at some point.
The NFLPA came out with a report card yesterday. Gail Benson got a good grade overall, but
she pays them and they upgraded
her
the
weakest
cafeteria.
grade was, do you feel confident that she wants to feel a competitive team? It wasn't a terrible grade, but it was her weakest among them.
She doesn't know how.
I think she does. She's got the wrong guy.
She doesn't know how.
Yeah, she's blinded by law.
Nice lady, but she doesn't know how to run an NFL organization.
Colucci, when we come back at Walk-Ons Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Finbom, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street and now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Do you feel like you get hurt at the most inconvenient times? Brock's After Hours Clinic has you covered for a break, sprain, or strain. Open 7 days a week, nights and weekends. Walk-ins welcome. Learn more, brortho.com.
Golf Tech of Baton Rouge is transforming your golf game. Conveniently located in Town Center, Golf Tech offers indoor lessons, club fitting, club sales, dedicated coaches, and more. Your one-stop shop for a better golf game. It's a new year. You should have a new game. Go to golftech.com today to be the rock star of your golf group.
Recall alert? Due for an oil change? Brakes louder than the kids in the back? Bayou Ford can get you in for service today. You don't have to wait. Same-day service. Schedule now at BayouFord.com. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Give my friends at River City's 1 Hour AC and Heating a call today. For a limited time, schedule your heater safety inspection and tune-up and receive $30 off. 1 Hour AC and Heating will get your central heat in safe, efficient, tip-top shape for the cool weather. And don't forget the Moscona special, saving you $25 on any cooling or heating repair. River City's 1 Hour AC and Heating today, 752-0001. That's 1 Hour AC, 752-0001. Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me talk about that patented non-toxic dry fog treatment to sanitize, kill mold, remove odor, and other harmful pathogens. Well, they've merged to create Parish Restoration. Learn more at parishbuilt.com. That's parishbuilt.com and hit the Restoration tab. Parish Restoration has knocked out mold in buildings as small as your home up to one of the largest commercial buildings in the entire state of Louisiana. Servicing all of Louisiana, visit parishbuilt.com. That's parishbuilt.com.
For service you can feel, you gotta call Capital City Comfort.
When your HVAC system is in expert hands, your home's comfort is effortless. From fast repairs to seamless installations, Capital City Comfort is committed to delivering expert service you can feel all year long. Visit online at capitalcitycomfort-br.com.
For service you can feel, you gotta call Capital City Comfort.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Maybe you've heard that word of mouth is the
Hey guys, Colucci's not answering. I'm still calling though. You heard me?
What'd you say?
I said Colucci's not answering. I'm still calling though.
Keep calling him. He knows. Yeah, he knows.
We do this every week.
I know.
1045ESPN.com and click connect. That's 1045ESPN.com and click connect.
Jake and James of Trash Rangers. How does $13.95 a month for residential trash pickup sound to you? Go to trashrangers.com for all the info and make the switch today. That's trashrangers.com.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the original Walk-Ons on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
While we hook up with Colucci, tell me about this cat that shot a record of 59 this morning.
Napster,
and,
baby.
Yeah, Jake
Max's pick.
Yeah, Jake Knapp was as high as 100-1 pre-tournament. He's rolling once again. Finished top 5 last year, and he set the course record. The course record previously was 61. Now they did change the par this year. It used to be a par 70. It's now a par 71. They made hole 10 a par 5 instead of a par 4. But yeah, he's rolling right now, and he's got a 4-shot lead already.
Oh yeah, there he is.
It's time. It's now Colucci time. Dwayne Colucci is back to give his best picks on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Oh, the perfect guy to bring on right now. Colucci, how you doing, buddy?
Doing well, Jimmy Ott. How you doing, my man?
I'm good. I'm
What's
just
going
trying
on in
to.
Baton
I'm trying to calm down Charlie. Charlie is super thrilled that, and you know a little bit about this certain quarterback, Derek Carr. The Saints. They make it known he's going to be there for a few seasons, or if not, they're at least going to pay for him. The last place team in salary cap help. But I know the Raiders fans terribly miss Derek Carr as their quarterback, right?
Gosh, well, anything is better than what we had last year. So I'm not going to say that they don't. I mean, it was just a horrible year for the Raiders. But we all know and expect, with Tom Brady now on board, there's got to be some sort of rebuild. But, he's a little long in the tooth now, like we discussed on 2 shows ago. I told you, Kellen Moore, his new head coach, beat him straight up when he was playing for Boise. So, I don't know how long he'll last there. I definitely think New Orleans is in the market for one of the free agent quarterbacks or, via the draft, definitely. But there's so many teams now that are looking for quarterbacks that to reestablish themselves.
Well,
I mean, the Jets are looking again for the 10th time in the last 12 years. The Giants are in the mix now. All sorts of teams looking for quarterbacks, New Orleans. So it's going to be difficult to make a decision, basically.
The Saints, Charlie told me. So the Saints owner, Miss Gail Benson, Tom Benson passed away. About 5 years ago, Charlie?
18, I think it was.
Okay.
2018.
It was 7 years ago, and she's been a real she very philanthropic, generous, charitable, the whole thing. But a little chummy would be putting it lightly with the general manager who's put the Saints in this horrible situation. Charlie's a wise man, Dwayne. Okay, but sometimes I wonder if he should take his own advice, because I said, I'm done with the Saints until this GM is gone. And he says, guess what? You will be 6 feet under. Charlie gets a little morbid at times. He told me that I would be dead before they would make a change. So I said, okay.
So it's like me saying I'm done with the Cowboys until Jerry's done.
Yeah. Okay. But
so we might be both 6 feet under.
But Charlie still got his hopes up, and he said this and that, and they're going to do this, and there's no way, with the numbers, that they can't do this. They can't re-sign Derek Carr. They're going to cut him loose. And you ever see when Lucy held the football and Charlie Brown? I'm sorry, was it Snoopy?
No, it was Lucy.
It was Lucy. Okay.
No,
Lucy.
it was Charlie Brown.
I knew Snoopy had to be involved
Snoopy's
in
the
this.
dog.
No, he's some kind of involved in this deal. Huh? Maybe he had the
Snoopy flew the doghouse. Lucy held the football.
Charlie keeps kicking.
Yeah.
He keeps kicking. Colucci, help my man out, because he's so smart, but he doesn't listen to his own advice.
it's hard to believe though that this is a team that put up the most points like ever in the first 2 games, in the history of the NFL, and then to just fall off the map. And we know that Carl is injured. We know there's wide receiver, issues, backup quarterback issues. But it's definitely one of the franchises that's just hovering. Just like my Cowboys, it becomes very difficult to get a read on what they're going to do, who they're going to pay, how deep the pockets are. And, eventually somebody has to tell this ownership, these general managers that, smack them in the head with a wet fish and tell them, look, wake up.
Hey, okay, let me bring up another name you might be familiar with and give you another little Mickey Loomis story. Dennis Allen, you're familiar with his work, huh? He was at the Raiders there for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This guy,
Not Las Vegas,
this general manager publicly said that, compared him to Chuck Noll and Bill Belichick. Colucci, who would you take? Dennis Allen or Bill Belichick? Dennis Allen or Chuck Noll? You were on the wrong side of those Super Bowl beatings, huh? As a kid,
unless Rich Kotite's on your list, you can just stop with Dennis Allen. You're taking the other guy, okay?
Charlie,
right, exactly.
Charlie had a king's dinner. Charlie was the king of carnival, okay? The king of sucrose, the crew of sucrose. It's sugar. Charlie likes sweets, okay? So anyway, he was at the king's meal last night. It ruined his dinner. It ruined his night, and all of a sudden, Mr. Bubbly is Mr. Curmudgeon over here. So I'm looking for a little help.
It's not just Derek Carr, okay? It's the constant fluctuation of the roster where you just don't have you don't have any ways to get any talent on a team because you're restricted in who you can sign. Their drafts have been, look at their last 5 drafts. They're absolutely horrendous. There's a few players in there. They didn't go over. But the overwhelming majority of these picks have been guys that can't get on the field or can't play. It's not that Derek Carr is the worst quarterback in the NFL, okay? He's a competent quarterback. If you put him on a good team, a really good roster, if you put him in Detroit, okay, or if you put him in Philadelphia, or if you put him in Miami, okay, with those weapons, Derek Carr's a functioning quarterback, and he's probably the best quarterback that they could have for next year. But you're not going to win anything that means anything with Derek Carr. No. And you don't have the mechanism to put the pieces around him to do that while he's still a functioning mid-level. I almost said high level. Excuse me.
He's not a high level. Yeah.
He's mediocre.
He could be a starter. If he was a
coaching career, by the way, is 26 and 50.
If he was a free agent on the market, the Jets could sign him and he would start. The Giants could sign him and he would start. There's a few other places, if he hadn't burned bridges, he could start for the Raiders, but he's not going to get you where you need to go. And so why continue to move this money to where you paint yourself in a corner? There's so many guys. I did this column 3 weeks ago. There's so many guys on the roster that they can't even cut if they wanted to because of the way the salaries are structured. This is from my blow it up and start over. They can't blow it up and start over, even if they wanted to, which he doesn't want to. You can't even begin to heal. You can't even begin to heal.
Well, he's a backup at this stage of his career. And yes, he is probably the best starting quarterback option that you guys have right now. But you have to look through the draft. I mean, there's nothing else unless you want to pay a high-price free agent. And then you're talking about a Kirk Cousins or maybe a Darnold or somebody like that.
And they don't have the money to do that even if they wanted to. Yeah, even if they wanted to.
Yeah, but some of those contracts are lingering. And, it's a tough position to be in. And
so why you just painted, Charlie, you just painted things have been happening forever. So why today, all of a sudden, you had this epiphany?
Because I really thought that there was a chance that they would move on from Carr, restructure the contract in a way they could cut him after June 1st and spread the money out and get rid of this cap hit in 2 years. Go with the young quarterbacks next year, sign an inexpensive veteran. And when I say inexpensive, I don't mean Daniel Jones. I'm talking about somebody like Mason Rudolph, okay? Just to have an insurance policy. See if you've got anything in Spencer Rattler. I don't think you do, but make sure. And then set up for next year to draft a quarterback. Get Carr off the books after 26 and for God's sakes, don't trade any draft choices away. Hope that you hit on them. And that's another one of my big things is how did you not revamp the scouting department given their track record since 2020? There's a method to get healed, but it takes some time. They're not even taking the initial steps to do that. They are stuck on the same damn game plan that hasn't worked since
the
Drew Brees
initial
retired.
step is changing the general manager.
Yes.
And and that's nothing's changing. No foresight, no vision, excuse making, and sort of just not paying attention.
They're acting like they still have Drew Brees, which they haven't had in 5 years. Okay. That's what they're acting like. They're acting like they're building. We got the quarterback. All we need is a couple more pieces. And when Brees was here, the guy's one of the best of all time.
Some more lighter things, Kaluch. How about the hockey game last Thursday night? It was not the result we were looking for. It could have easily been the opposite result. Certainly in overtime, they had their shots. The less heralded goalie was really outstanding for Canada. But, man, there were a lot of casual sports fans that don't really watch hockey a whole lot that were glued into this one, man. It was good stuff.
Yeah, it was great for the sport. It definitely, shows Gary Bettman finally earning his paycheck, to where it's all about viewership, and the NFL will teach you that. So, it attracted a different market that we were looking for, and that definitely is what, creates a buzz, similar to last year with the WNBA, the Clark and Reese parity, so that created a buzz. Now you have the U.S.-Canada, which is much stronger than the WNBA buzz. And, I was a little disappointed that Kachuk tries to tough it out. He stole, in my opinion, a roster spot because the guy had to know he wasn't going to play, an adequate amount of minutes to make a difference. So, that was kind of the problem with the roster and Team USA. Plus, you had the Hughes situation where Vancouver wasn't really going to let him play anyway. So, they were short-manned, let's put it that way. But we had McKinnon to score the first goal, score an anytime goal.
That's right.
You got a handicap, guys. That's what it's all about. You may be you bet aside and you want your heart to collect that money, but there's always other options with the prop bets, and that's why we put so many out at the Rampart and South Point just to create that buzz and to create and generate handle, especially with the NHL. And we had, 20 guys listed to score the first goal in that game. We had anytime goal scorers, and McKinnon was one of them. That was at one point was plus 220. So yeah, definitely, if you could take advantage of the props in these situations, you can make money. But this was just great for the NHL. And, once this all gets settled with Russia, and I could definitely see an addition of 2 more teams, definitely a Russian team and maybe a full European team outside of the Finland, Sweden, and Russia countries. So, there's definitely a buzz now in the NHL with this All-Star Nations 4 break. And it definitely is more successful than just a regular All-Star game. I mean, who was paying attention to the NBA, the same weekend with their All-Star breakdown, and then you have their superstar LeBron James just, 10 hours before the tournament, or I'm not playing. So, the NHL is definitely creating a buzz and trying and, peak out, whereas the NBA is at a massive plateau now. And that's the buzz where they're just, fighting for their lives and fighting to create a buzz that the NHL just did over the past weekend.
We're out of time, Kaluch. We appreciate it, man. Great stuff as always. Happy Mardi Gras to you on Tuesday with that Fairgrounds card. We'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, I'll text you a pic there, Jimmy. Definitely.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Text me a
having
pic.
me on, and enjoy the Mardi Gras.
There you go. We'll take a time out. Did live at lunch, live at the original Walkon to 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
A parade of savings await you all month long with Mardi Gras markdown pricing at Supreme Chevrolet in Gonzales. Now's the time to expect more Supreme savings, more Supreme selection, and more Supreme satisfaction. Choose from one of the area's best selections of new Silverados, Tahoes, Traverses, and all the other great Supreme Chevrolet values. For more, please visit SupremeChevy.com. That's SupremeChevy.com. Or together, let's drive to Supreme Chevrolet in Gonzales.
Hey, it's Musso, inviting you to join me for another season of Musso at the Box presented by Gauntlet Light Installers. We've got you covered daily on LSU baseball. Go to YouTube or your favorite podcast app, search Musso at the Box, and get subscribed today.
Darren James and Associates, powered by LPT Realty, commit to excellent service unlike any other.
Darren and his team save buyers as much money as possible. If you're ready to buy or sell your home, call Darren James or visit agent225.com.
Need more space? Workbox LLC has the storage solutions you can count on. Whether you're a homeowner, commercial contractor, or industrial business, we have the space for you. Our secure, versatile storage units are ready to meet your needs. Contractors, keep your site organized and efficient. Store your materials with us and access them anytime you need. Businesses, industries of any size, Workbox LLC is your trusted partner for flexible, safe storage. Workbox 343-4886 and workboxllc.com.
If you love hunting, fishing, and the outdoors,
Don't miss the Louisiana Outdoor Expo.
March 14th through 16th in Gonzales.
At the expo, you'll find everything for hunting, fishing, and the outdoors.
Rods and reels,
hunting gear and clothing,
plus a huge selection of boats,
tractors, ATVs, and outdoor power equipment.
There's fun for the whole family, including the exciting Doc Dogs dog jumping competition.
The Louisiana Outdoor Expo.
March 14th through 16th at Lamar Dixon in Gonzales.
Brought to you by Riverlands Insurance Services.
Electricians, want competitive pay and a family-owned company that values you? Boudreaux's Electrical Services is hiring. Power Louisiana homes with Generac home standby generators. Call 225-300-9389 or apply at boudreauxelectrical.com.
Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is Connie Fabry, President and CEO of the Greater Baton Rouge Industry Alliance. Industry plants are visible on the river, and they are nestled in and around our farming communities and bayous. Industry makes great communities, contributing to schools, hospitals, and nonprofits every day. Visit industrymakes.org. That's industrymakes.org. Industry Makes. Let others make noise. We make everything else.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
Jake and James, the Trash Rangers. Do you need one more reason to switch your residential trash pickup? How about $13.95 a month for the first few months? Go to trashrangers.com and make the switch today.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the original Walk-Ons on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Big night in college basketball last night for a couple of teams. How about Vandy's win at Texas A&M?
Now you give Vandy more credit or A&M? What's
I didn't see the game. I'm going to be completely honest.
No, Vandy's good. Vandy's good.
That's just a giant road win. I mean, over a top 15 team.
What's their other road win? They only have one other road win in the conference, right here. So it's a little bit
right,
a little bit bigger. You know, they beat Tennessee at home. They beat Kentucky at home. Yeah. You know, so I think there was another one they won at home. Man, they got beat by like 30 at Oklahoma. So this is by far their best, conference road win. And it's just, Charlie, I mean, it's just you got to take a spot somewhere. Somewhere you're going to catch a team exhaling up. You just wonder about, after Ole Miss went to Tuscaloosa and beat Alabama, they kind of had a down spot. Florida was sloppy as hell this week. At LSU, you can't give up a 22-2 run against LSU. And then you give up 67% shooting to Georgia in the first 25 minutes of the game.
Yeah. I was just surprised for Texas A&M. They had lost at Mississippi State, then they lost at home to Tennessee. I thought, look, you got to get right here. You got to win this game.
True, but they won the close game at Missouri, which was it's a little peak. They're not quite as good as a 2 seed.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, but it's a grind, man.
Vandy be in the tournament for sure. Now, if there was any doubt before about a late slide, they're getting in for sure. Hour number 2 straight ahead here at the original Walk-Ons, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
We are the soldiers of the Louisiana Army National Guard. We are your neighbors. We are your sons and daughters. While we serve part-time, we are learning valuable life and job skills. We are earning money for college, for trade and technical schools, and for certification. We are proud to serve both our country and our home state. We are your Louisiana Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance. Now is the time to get your AC cleaned and checked before those sweltering temperatures arrive. Ensure your unit is performing at max efficiency. Lower your monthly bills and prolong the life of your central air conditioner. Right now, mention my name or Jimmy Ott and get $100 off that service. Down from $179 to $79. Call Total Maintenance for generators, electricity, and plumbing issues. In Baton Rouge, 480-1000, and in New Orleans, call 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
Country's hottest hit maker, Russell Dickerson. WrestleMania Tour 2025. March 13th, 7:30 p.m. Beau Rivage. Russell Dickerson. Nothing but a high-energy live show you won't want to miss. On sale now at BeauRivage.com. Schedule subject to change. Some restrictions may apply.
Did your doctor prescribe physical therapy? And when you went to the location closest to your house, did they really work on you to get rid of your problem? Or did they take you through a list of exercises you could find on Google? Ladies and gentlemen, that is not physical therapy. My name is Robbie Bolton, owner of Evolve Physical Therapy and Sports. And if you're an active individual and you're having nagging knee pain with running, or your elbow or shoulder hurts with tennis or hitting a volleyball, don't go to someone's one of many locations. Come to the location. Evolve Physical Therapy and Sports on Starring Lane.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Gross Ted, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Gross Ted exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me talk about that patented non-toxic dry fog treatment to sanitize, kill mold, remove odor, and other harmful pathogens. Well, they've merged to create Parish Restoration. Learn more at parishbuilt.com. That's parishbuilt.com, and hit the restoration tab. Parish Restoration has knocked out mold in buildings as small as your home up to one of the largest commercial buildings in the entire state of Louisiana. Servicing all of Louisiana, visit parishbuilt.com. That's parishbuilt.com.
In Baton Rouge, we're entrepreneurs and connoisseurs. We have careers to grow, green beans to throw, and drinks to go. We're innovators and tailgaters.
I don't know what's going on today. These guys are just not answering their phones.
What you got?
I'm trying. They're just not answering their phones today. I don't know what's going on. Just a heads up if y'all want to text them or not.
Better in BTR. Better in BTR.com.
Do you plan to travel, work part-time, or move somewhere warmer when you retire? At Edward Jones, we understand that no two retirement paths are the same. Contact your local financial advisor today.
In Baton Rouge, call Brandon Becknell. In Denham Springs, call Scott Landry. And in Plaquemine, call Kyle Robichaux.
Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the original Walk-Ons on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Back here at the original Walk-Ons, man. The new menu items that we got a chance to sample here a minute ago. The new sliders are fantastic, man. Some of the new items that they're adding here as we get into, it's going to be a really a nice home slate of baseball games here. But if you're anywhere on campus, baseball, softball, come on by the original Walk-Ons.
Yeah, so we're excited at Walk-Ons in all of our Walk-Ons locations. Starting this Monday, we're going to start trickling out some new menu items. One of those new menu items are the ribeye sliders, sliced ribeye topped with Swiss cheese, caramelized onions, Dijon horseradish with the garlic aioli. I'm talking melt in your mouth, man. You talk about really good. Served with those waffle fries. So that'll be, and then by March 10th, we'll have all of the new menu items will be out. But we're going to start trickling them out little by little. One of those will be the all-new ribeye sliders here from Walk-Ons. And don't forget also Walk-Ons, and man, they can do your crawfish boil. Crawfish season on-site and off-site. Private crawfish boils are available. Contact Dustin at 225-888-3566, 888-3566, or events@walkons.com. Events@walkons.com. So crawfish season off to a great start as well.
And a couple of basketball games left. The women's basketball team will play their final regular season home game this Sunday against Ole Miss, and of course they'll be hosting in the first two rounds of the NCAA tournament. So it's always a good time to come by Walk-Ons and grab a cold one, grab something.
There are only two losses at Texas is number one right now.
They are number one right now
at Texas in a competitive game for sure,
and at South Carolina,
so
which was also a pretty competitive game. They ended up losing it by 10, but it was
kind of an arm's length type of game.
Yeah, it was mostly nowhere near the last time they went there.
It was kind of, I think the farthest they got behind was maybe 12, 14. Yeah, they didn't, and the closest they got was like 6. It's kind of in that 8 to 10 range a lot.
The last time they went there, the national championship year, there was just a bad matchup for them. It wasn't like that. This year. They were they were highly competitive. Jimmy, we were talking about Vanderbilt before the break. We thought that they were in, but you didn't want to slide at the end, so that's a big win for them. That gets them in. Oklahoma, though, had an opportunity last night against Kentucky, and if somebody's going to get left out, but we're talking about besides LSU and South Carolina out of the league, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Vandy, those are the next three teams. Oklahoma, they may have to hustle, man. They had a chance to get one against Kentucky last night.
They've lost 6 of 7. I thought it's about as good as it could play. The point guard for Kentucky was back, and I just thought that Oklahoma threw as tough of blows as they could throw, and they still came up a little bit short. To me, minus South Carolina and LSU, to me, this is the weakest team in the SEC.
I agree.
And they go to Ole Miss on Saturday, and I think Ole Miss, who won 3 in a row, now has lost 3 in a row, they're catching Ole Miss at a bad time also. So kind of peek toward that one. I think the line might be close to 7, but I'd be willing to lay it on Saturday in that game. So but then they just come out when Shea did that report and talked about LSU near the bottom. Who did he put near the bottom with their basketball budget? There's Oklahoma. Yeah. And so, we've kind of followed Oklahoma from from a distant, but now that they're in the league and you just wonder, man, their crowd's mediocre. There's a lot of empty seats last night in Norman for Kentucky. Now, I still think, Kentucky's coming to your building. When's the last time they've been there? I don't care what their record is.
Yeah, no kidding.
So I would have thought the novelty, they'd be a little bit excited. But it's gotten to a point. I talked to Paul Stone this morning. He's a Texas alum. They don't care. They're way more interested in the football right now. It's like kind of just apathetic is their fan base toward basketball right now. And you kind of saw that at Oklahoma as well. And, do you want to play or you not? And you got to be. There's no reason that Oklahoma should not be more competitive with their roster. they're not near the bottom of their gymnastics NIL budget. Huh?
I was going to ask you. Okay, at Oklahoma, there's some similarities there to LSU. Their gymnastics program has been. They didn't win the national championship last year, but they have
don't
won
have the baseball
five of the last 8. Okay, in gymnastics, their softball team has won 5 of the last 7 national championships. Okay.
So instead of the women's basketball, you got the softball.
They've got softball and they've got gymnastics.
Two minor sports
are the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that soaks up a lot of your spring interest. The baseball team has been okay. Nothing great. Nothing terrible. They were a regional team last year, but nothing over the moon.
Well, what you think? You think their softball budget is near the bottom?
They just built a new stadium. Okay, so no, we checked into her salary. It was, I want to say somewhere about $1.6 million, $1.7 million, somewhere in that area. Yeah. So again, where's your? Everybody wants to be good in everything, but maybe that's not possible, right? So if you're going to be,
I mean, what is your general budget? I think like a guy is it Austin Thomas is in charge of sort of allocating, some of the. And how much is just, there's a reason the Gridiron Club was established. We've got all the football. There's a reason the coaches committee was created. It goes all to baseball. So how much is you got certain boosters that just only football, only basketball, only baseball, only. I know baseball, you got a few of those. That's Skip Hustle that Johnson has embraced and utilized. Some of the same people. But, it's
How many people do you think have to make a decision? The boosters. What percentage of the boosters you say? Not football. That football is different. But if you got to realize, I can give it to this sport, this sport, this sport, this sport. How many of them do you think give across the board, and how many of them do you think just give it to the general fund? You guys figure out what to do with it, and what percentage do you think say no? This money goes to gymnastics or softball or baseball or whatever. I have no idea. But if you're at a program that has to allocate resources, I mean, you just don't have unlimited money like Texas, then don't you have to kind of pick and choose if the money in the general fund? I mean, that's why all these guys are coming up with general managers to allocate the funds within certain programs. I mean, we're talking about big names that are going to do this stuff. Woj went to St. Bonaventure to do their basketball stuff. We just saw our friend from the Senior Bowl go to Oklahoma yesterday. Jim Nagy has really built a strong reputation taking that job.
What about the guy that's been on the show a few times in Lombardi?
Lombardi.
He's with Belichick at North Carolina, as his GM. And
these are important jobs for guys like this to take.
Because listen, and Rohan talked about too that Belichick did not take that job, and we've heard stories about the 100-page report of where outline of what he had of the conditions of the job, and people say, well, how's he going to handle, when the sophomore running back, the mom said, no, I'm not, and after game 3, no, we need more money. Well, no, he's not taking that call. Lombardi's taking that call. Nagy's going to handle that, up at Oklahoma. That's why, to allow the coaches to coach. The coaches are fighting they're tired of raising money, fundraising. They want to coach instead of / recruit or handle the budget, which is constant. I mean, Mike Gundy told us, he publicized for everybody. It's like, no, it's got to stop. It's got to stop. And so it's all new, and some of the veteran coaches are struggling with it. But to a degree, Charlie, you should win across. You have the LSU's not quite Texas, but LSU their athletic budget is top 10. I would think, and they're not having so much success for so many programs because you
are pretty much good in everything. They put the release out last week. But 9 of the 11 sports were in the top 20, and 2 more were in the top 25.
But gymnastics, when they were working out in the field house before Dee Dee's Palace was built, okay, they were good. They weren't like this.
No.
Okay. Okay. So once upon a time, the tennis teams were the only teams in the conference that didn't have an indoor facility.
Right.
They got that, and now they got a low NIL budget too. Well, guess what? Go check out the women. I mean, so you have to, Arkansas's track and field, they got a bigger budget than Ole Miss and Mississippi State. I mean, and so Pat Henry won championships here. Why did he leave? Because he had a bigger budget in College Station. So some places, and that's why the Texas, the Floridas, the across the board, they're really good. In some, like Alabama, it's all going to football. And you want to know the percentage across the board compared to football, it's way higher in football at Alabama than a lot of other schools like LSU.
True, but even Alabama, whose basketball program lacked for years, is now competitive in that arena.
They've got a good coach.
Yeah, and they're paying him now. I mean, I don't. That initial contract was
he
just
had to win first.
He did. He had to win,
and that's a hard place to win. And he's gonna. It seems like he's embraced the roster building. He's hustling in some capacity to get his NIL budget because it's not doing it by himself. And I mean, he's one of the younger coaches that this is not all new to him,
right.
So he's embracing it, and they're handling it. He's handling it a lot better than some others. And then you got a guy who's as a veteran as anybody, and Rick Pitino, who's getting it done.
Yeah. Who's the first AD at a major program to say, you know what, I'm going to go hire a good coach, but I'm not going to hire a high-profile, really expensive coach. In other words,
Joe Dean.
And instead take the money that you would spend on a high-profile coach. In other words, North Carolina's paying Belichick what, $10 million a year, something like that. Okay, and they said, listen, instead of paying Bill Belichick $10 million a year, we're going to go find the best mid-major coach we can find for $3 million a year. We're going to take that other $7 million and we're going to put it into NIL. Because I don't think Belichick, at least from what we've seen so far, and it's early, his recruiting impact is not overwhelming. It's not like he can just walk in. Maybe 10 years ago he could have walked in the living room and said, I'm Bill Belichick and come play for me. But now it's, I'm Bill Belichick, come play for me. How much, coach?
Right.
So can't Joe Coach go do that and say, I can offer you more money than if
what kind of success do you think he's going to have there?
I think Belichick's going to be probably about a 9-10 win coach.
Wow, that would be really good.
It's a weak league. I mean,
it is a weak league. It's a weak schedule this year. It was a weak schedule this past year. They were underdogs in 3 games this past year, and all were like right on a field goal or less.
If you asked me to set their over-under for next year, I'd say 9 wins.
Well, you can bet on it.
Yeah.
Because it was 6.5 and got bet to 7.5.
Yeah. I would if you asked me sight unseen, I'd say 9 wins.
To me, and like Max doesn't remember this name, but it reminds me a lot of Bill Arnsparger coming to LSU.
Yeah,
and he was not real interested in recruiting. The recruiting was certainly different, but damn it, they blocked and tackled and were more organized immediately. I mean, that jump from the Stovall to Arnsparger team, it was like, whoa, they were. And
Stovall left him some talent too, but yes, he did get him organized. He was a great fundamental coach.
I mean, North Carolina's never won anything. So, yes, the LSU had more, but that was LSU in the early 80s, so it wasn't what we think of now. I mean, they were about a 7-4, 8-3 program then. And, I mean, Charlie Mack went 7-4 how many years, I mean, they were kind of Stovall had his ups and his downs, good
Stovall
year,
had
bad year,
2 good years and 2 bad years.
Yeah. But, man, it was just, instead of this roller coaster ride, man, this thing was, well, they were just from football people. I mean, it was a smooth up, and it was a clean club, man. No dumb stuff, no just blown plays, blown us. I mean, it was a well coached team.
If you had an Arnsparger today and you said, look, we'll take the NIL money and we'll take care of the recruiting for you. We don't need you to be charismatic and be chummy with kids and chummy with coaches. We'll buy you a team. You just coach it.
You heard what he told them, huh? All my chumminess is used up on this young lady. he's emptied the chumminess on his girlfriend.
Isn't that what they said
Max, what you got?
No, I was just going to go back to your original point about the investment for Oklahoma basketball. The real salt in the wound yesterday their former player, Otega Owe, has the winning shot, has 28 points. So he was there last year, transfers out of the program because they don't invest enough. Porter Moser in his 4th season in real trouble.
Yeah.
Back to my point.
Where's the updated Jerry Palm or bracketology? Because I want to see if they're out now. I think they're still in.
Isn't that what they're telling Brian Kelly? We know you're not going to beat the bushes and recruit like a madman like Ogeron did. We'll go buy you a team. You just coach it. Isn't that what they're telling him?
Oh, 100%. You know, if Belichick had this thing, and Lombardi said that they had many conversations about, so they were going to be sort of he was going to bring Lombardi and have him part of whatever he was going to take. Now, obviously, he interviewed for NFL jobs. They probably thought they were going to be at an NFL club before a college job.
Yeah.
But this was the best offer that they had right now, and he brought a whole guide of what the conditions he wanted this job, and North Carolina said yes. And North Carolina is one of those teams. They kind of have a strong athletic department over all teams. They're pretty good in a lot of things. So because their overall budget is just stronger. The thing Paul Stone was telling me too, this is why Texas can swing and miss because they have so many alums that are just super, super wealthy that don't give to the athletics. They get to the academics.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have a lot of things they haven't even tapped into, and they still have the budget that they have. And LSU's got to hit on a higher percentage of their wealthy alums.
Would you tell me many years ago? Always going to be somebody richer than you. It's always going to be somebody with a bigger house and a nicer car.
It's just my little credo. There's always going to be somebody smarter, richer, bigger. Son, you got it better than most. That's okay. Yeah. Charlie, you got it better than most.
Do the best you can, and
that's all I ask you, Charlie.
Right.
And you try.
And I do.
And you did. You do. You fell on your face with this little mistake, but you did your best. That's all I can ask. I'm going to reward effort, not results.
You didn't see my master plan. See, I knew this was going to happen, so it was giving you an opportunity to gloat. I like you, Jim.
Am I gloating or just being,
just a little?
You're gloating. Thank you, Max. Your job is done for the day. You're great.
Yes, Max. Damn it.
Oh, that was perfect.
Don't forget our friends at Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Man, I wish I had these storm windows, these gelled windows, RLS windows that they have at Relief Windows, the original construction of my home. The storm impact windows, when it comes to impact-resistant storm windows for coastal areas, the frame system, laminated glass, and sealant must work together to resist the catastrophic forces applied during severe weather, including hurricanes. So if you're down a little bit closer to the coast, whether it's a Mississippi Gulf Coast, Louisiana coast, even the Florida coast, those storm impact windows are a great idea for you at Relief Windows. I use Relief Windows when they redid the wood windows at my home. Hey, this is the place. This is the people you want to call if you have a homeowners association. Your homeowners association requires wood windows. 230-5652, 230-5652, Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com.
Live at the original Walk-Ons, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
As football winds down, college basketball is gearing up. Fans are ready to see which teams will prove they are ready to shine in March and who will be seen in San Antonio. You can get in on all the action from tip-off to the final whistle at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Right now, new ESPN Bet Sportsbook customers can bet $10 to get $100 in bonus bets and unlock 30 days of ESPN+. Download the app and sign up with the promo code Radio100 to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700 in partnership with LeBares Lake Charles. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
The Bridge Center for Hope opened its doors February the 11th, 2021. Our goal was simple: to help individuals who were experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis without barrier, stigma, or judgment. During this time, we have helped thousands reach their road to recovery. Thank you for allowing us to be your crisis provider. The Bridge Center for Hope. We're not a hospital, but we will treat you like it's an emergency. For more information, please visit brbridge.org.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike, so Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Are you looking for the perfect ride for your next getaway? Rent a car for the week at All-Star Toyota and only pay for 6 days. You get 7 days of adventure for the price of just 6. So whether you're headed out on a road trip, you need a vehicle for the week, or just want something new to drive, we've got you covered.
At All-Star Toyota, we offer a wide selection of Toyota vehicles ready to hit the road when you are. Conveniently located at Airline at Goodwood in Baton Rouge. Visit us today or check out our website at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com for more details.
All-Star Toyota, people you know, cars you trust.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today, and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
Hey, it's Musso, inviting you to join me for another season of Musso at the Box, presented by Gotlit Light Installers. We've got you covered daily on LSU baseball. Go to YouTube or your favorite podcast app, search Musso at the Box, and get subscribed today.
Is your closet organized? Let's face it, most closets are cluttered and a hassle to organize, but that's just because they aren't designed around your specific needs. One Bath & Closets works closely with you to design your space where it makes sense for you and clears the clutter away. From shoe racks, baskets, seasonal storage, mirrors, drawers, cubbies, and doors, One Bath & Closets can make your dream closet a reality. Go with an industry leader in bathroom and now closet remodeling. Visit onebathandclosets.com to sign up for a free in-home consultation. That's onebathandclosets.com.
Jake and James of Trash Rangers. How does $13.95 a month for residential trash pickup sound to you? Go to trashrangers.com for all the info and make the switch today. That's trashrangers.com.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
121-1674. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the original Walk-Ons on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Back here at the original Walk-Ons. Get your crawfish here at Walk-Ons, your crawfish balls here at Walk-Ons. A nice big outside area. Big outside between the beer garden
the patio,
and the
man.
patio.
We got the garage doors open today for sure, man. Nice day. It's been a good weather this week, Charlie.
Yeah, we're looking forward to all the spring sports, man. There's a lot of stuff here. LSU baseball last night with what I think is going to be their most challenging opponent of the non-conference schedule. They're playing Dallas Baptist at Globe Life last night. Had a chance to kind of review some things this morning. Didn't get a chance to see the game last night, but the big takeaways for me in watching some of the recap this morning, the Connor Ware went out and really threw the ball well for 4 innings. And I gave up the home run to the catcher Grant J, who's a really good player for Dallas Baptist, a cleanup hitter. But other than that, he was spotless through 4 innings. Zach Cowan, who's a transfer from Wofford, came in, gave up a couple of runs, but pitched okay. We had a guy come up to us during one of the breaks and asked me about the LSU's pitching staff, and I said, the real surprise to me of everything that's happened here through the first 2 weeks and change of the season is Kason Evans. Evans has been superb in the outings that he's had so far, And he came in last night. Cooper Williams came in, gave up a couple of walks. So it was a 7-3 ball game. Evans had to come in and get out of that jam. He did. He got a little bit fortunate on a line drive with 2 on that landed in Jones's glove, and he gets a double play off of first base. But he gets out of the jam. He gets a couple of strikeouts in the ninth, and he gets them home. Kason Evans was not somebody that was on my radar pre-conference or preseason to come in and be throwing 98, 99 miles an hour. I mean, they're guys like that. When you look at Maverick Rizzi, he's 6'9", he's 250 pounds. Okay. At Chase Shores, he's 6'8", 240 pounds. Okay. We knew about Anderson. Kason Evans is I'll just say this, a normal sized guy. He's about 6'2". He's about 190 pounds or so, maybe 195 pounds. And he is just throwing absolute gas, man. This freshman from Houston has been the biggest surprise to me so far. And right now, through 9 games, if they had a 1-run lead in the ninth, he's probably who I'd turn the game over to in a conference game right now. LSU had a bunch of hits, but left a bunch of people on base. I can deal with that. That's one of the things that pre-conference is for you. 12 hits, you left 15 people on base. They continue to play pretty good defense. I think it was their first error, first error in the field by a non-pitcher last night.
Sounds right. Yeah.
They did an error by catcher's interference and 1 in foul territory. I think last night was the first error. So they played really good defensive ball. Derek Curiel continues to play beyond his years. I think he's the next star here. I'm not breaking any news there. He was very, very highly recruited, but I like him up at the top of the lineup in that leadoff spot. I don't know if that's going to stick or if they're going to, move him into the 2 or 3 hole permanently. And nothing maybe permanently because they're going to juggle a lot of people out there. But boy, I like him.
Well,
in that leadoff
Curiel's
spot.
going to stay out there, right? There's going to be a lot
Curiel
of
plays
rotation.
every
He's
day.
gonna play every day,
When I
yeah.
say move him, I mean, is he going to bat first, second, or third? That's
yeah, I
all.
kind of like Curiel and Jones, kind of going back to back there too. Jones at second. You can't really pitch around him that early, I guess, because I do worry a little bit with a lack of power in the lineup sometimes where they might try to pitch around Jones and just face whoever's behind him. But we'll see how they shuffle the lineup.
I'm also not opposed to seeing Curiel in center field a couple more times. He first game of the doubleheader last Saturday, he was in center. He runs well enough to play out there. I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more of that. Just gives him a few more options. I mean, he can play in left. I might like to see him a couple more times in center before conference play starts. So LSU gets the win over Dallas Baptist, who's a ranked team, 7-3, and they go into Frisco, Texas for a 3-game set. That is Friday, Saturday,
how
Sunday.
much does Globe Life play differently when Dallas Baptist is used to hitting it too?
I have no idea what Dallas Baptist
traditionally,
feels.
Charlie, what do you think of Dallas Baptist? You don't think about the pitching.
No,
about
you think about the hitting.
Okay.
Max knows more about how Globe Life plays than I do.
Bigger park except down the lines. There was one homer that you saw LSU had barely over the wall, right down the left field line. It's a little shorter
Charlie,
there, but
it plays bigger
big.
than their home park.
Yeah,
Sure. So
yeah.
how much is LSU's pitching depth good? How much is, getting them out of their comfort zone of playing there? Dallas Baptist is one of the, when you talk about the mid-majors, it's been an evolution of mid-majors when it comes to college baseball. When you talk about the best mid-major ever was probably Rice, Cal State Fullerton, Wichita State back in the day. Maine used to go to Omaha on a regular basis. But Rice is done. The California schools, and I wouldn't even consider back in their heyday the California schools that the West Coast Conference was a great conference.
Yeah.
It has so many kids playing baseball, and that's before you had, indoor facilities all through the South, that in Texas and that you have now, and they had such a big advantage because they could play year round and nobody else could because the weather is so consistent in Southern California. But Dallas Baptist, Southern Miss, who is it? South Alabama, not what they used to. Steve Kittrell. They would make regular trips to either Baton Rouge or Tallahassee for regionals. That's gone. And so, the landscape of it is it's harder and harder for sort of these smaller budget, but they do have a low budget, at Dallas Baptist. So, just one of the better mid-major programs.
And through multiple coaches.
Did they
now
go to
too.
one super regional?
No, they've been.
They've never been to Super
No, they've
Regional.
been to more than one.
I guess. Oh, really?
Yeah, they've been to more than one.
But never
Super
not to
Regional.
Omaha.
They haven't been to Omaha
East
yet.
Carolina, am I forgetting?
They haven't made it to Omaha yet. They have been tantalizingly close, but
Yeah,
they
but
haven't made it yet.
they're a stronger program than Dallas Baptist.
Yeah, they've
done
made
for
it
a
to
long-
more super
Yes,
regionals.
indeed.
Dallas Baptist has done it through multiple coaches, which is impressive because you talked about Rice. Rice was a product of Wayne Graham. They lost before him and they lost after him.
It's a product of Skip Bertman. I mean,
No, that's it's a product of Skip Bertman, but guys,
But
the
after
coaches
they couldn't do
after
it.
one,
Yeah, right.
right? And Wichita State, after Gene Stevenson left, fell off dramatically. Okay, they've been able to do this through multiple coaches, which is it's surprising to me.
I mean, like Tulane's not a player anymore.
No, they're not. This is not
know.
just one coach went in there and he was all world. They
haven't
were
done it for that long. What's their
It's
first
about
regional
12,
appearance?
15 years. No,
It's 12 years
12
now?
or so. Yeah.
Okay.
Something.
Jimmy, there were
along
a couple
those
balls that threatened the track, but I don't think it would have changed the game that much. I mean, maybe there would have been a couple that would have been gone in their home facility, but this was a thorough.
Well, that's
LSU won thoroughly. Ware and Evans had their pitches going.
Charlie, I try to remind you, guys throwing hard, young pitchers throwing hard. You better have them because everybody's got them. It's just common now. Everything on these youth pitching, it's so much on velo and spin rate, and you're going to have and some people. There's been some critics as well, but my son being that age and not that far removed from sort of tournament ball and things like that, and that means how many guys does Tennessee have that could throw mid-90s? How many guys does A&M have that could throw mid-90s? How many LSU?
There's guys that can't crack the rotation that would have been the hardest throwers on multiple LSU national championship teams. They can't, crack the rotation on this team. So yes, you got 7, 8, 9 guys that are 95 or better.
So but they're at the top. But these guys that don't necessarily look the part are that they're throwing hard. Man.
Yeah, Evans at 99, man. He's salty. He's salty so far. We're brought to you by Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners, because when it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike, so no matter what your age or your income level, Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you. They'll get a plan. Your business partners, your legal team, your tax professionals, everybody will be involved to make sure that your goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you on a lifetime plan. They've done it for me, so I can vouch for them. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online, coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC. Take a break here live at the original Walk-Ons, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Thibodaux store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodaux. You're looking to do some home improvement projects here in the spring as the weather warms up. You don't know exactly how you want to proceed, but you don't want to hire a contractor either. Save a little money and do some of these projects yourself with instructions from the Thibodaux store, because their staff can walk you through some of these projects step by step. They'll tell you what supplies to get. They'll tell you what procedures. This is so much better than dealing with a YouTube video where you can't ask questions. You're not exactly sure how to move forward with these projects. You can save a lot of money, and you can get the job done right. Power tools, hand tools, plumbing supplies, electrical supplies, lumber delivered out of their sister property at the Pierre Part store, which recently celebrated 113 years in business. Grills, along with Cypress furniture, fishing supplies, crawfish and jambalaya pots. It's all at Big Green Egg Cookers as well, all at the Thibodaux store. 900 St. Patrick Highway, and online it's ThibodauxStore.com.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit Ruffino'sRestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Go local and go free with Go Free Checking from Neighbors Federal Credit Union. No monthly maintenance fees, no balance requirements, and no strings attached. Just the safety and security that comes with Baton Rouge's largest credit union. And with direct deposit set up through NFCU's Early Payday Program, you can get access to your funds up to 3 days early. Come by one of our 11 area branches or apply online at neighborsfcu.org. Go free with Go Free Checking from Neighbors Federal Credit Union. Insured by NCUA.
For service you can feel, you gotta call Capital City Comfort.
When your HVAC system is in expert hands, your home's comfort is effortless. From fast repairs to seamless installations, Capital City Comfort is committed to delivering expert service you can feel all year long. Visit online at capitalcitycomfort-br.com.
For service you can feel, you gotta call Capital City Comfort.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, big cheesy Lou, and those Louis' original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
If you're looking for some time away, but you don't want to go too far, the Cook Hotel at LSU is just what you've been searching for. Book your getaway today and enjoy a beautiful escape in any of their luxurious guest rooms or suites overlooking the gorgeous LSU lakes. Whether you're here to shop or stay, the Cook Hotel at LSU is where you can find it all. Stay for the weekend, come by, grab lunch, or shop at their alumni gift shop. Visit thecookhotel.com to book your stay today. That's thecookhotel.com.
Ever ask a friend questions about their new pool and they don't know the answers? That means one thing. They didn't use Duplessis Builder.
Y'all just going to text Kenny again. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Y'all just got to text Kenny again. I don't know why nobody wants to answer the phone today.
He's not answering the phone either?
Nobody. Other than Colucci when I finally.
18.
Maybe it's you.
No, it ain't me. It ain't me. Well, look,
2 o'clock. 2 o'clock start.
Kenny's not answering.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the original Walkons on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Back here, the original Walk-Ons, Burbank and Nicholson.
Don't forget our friends talking about pitching. How about over at Total Diamond Performance at the corner of Burbank and Gardere, our year-round pitching lab. That's right. Looking to take your pitching development to the next level. Portable pitching lab will consist of a Rapsodo 3.0 pitching analytics, Edgertronic video, slow motion video capture, and standard video modeled after MLB organizations. Of course, Matt has worked with several different college and pro and MLB teams to kind of learn stuff in and craft his, kind of fine-tune his craft and sharing it with the young players today. The tools provided will give your organization and pitching coaches the data and video needed to improve pitching mechanics and optimize pitch design. Best way to get signed up is contact Jacob Doyle. Jacob at tdpbaseball.com. That's Jacob at tdpbaseball.com.
Dallas Baptist first super regional in 2011. 3 coaches. Dan Hefner has done the majority of this. I don't want to make out like the other guys went to multiple super regionals.
Them years are just flying by now, Charlie.
Yeah, 2000.
First super regional 15 years ago. 14 years ago.
That was the year that they played Cal, and they were about to Cal was about to cancel their program. They were about to shut the program down, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they made a run to Omaha, and they ended up playing Dallas Baptist, and they had to play the games in Santa Clara because Cal didn't have anywhere else to play them. And Dallas Baptist went out there, and Cal ended up winning the super regional, and they went to Omaha that year. So that was 2011, and
but Dallas Baptist, but they didn't have the resource to even bid over there, like a 2 or 3 seed, and got hot because they probably weren't that highly seeded because they were so new.
Right. That was in 2011. That was only their second trip to the
NCAA
tournament.
Appearance.
Second trip to the tournament at all. And then they made a super regional again in 2021. They sent them to Columbia in 2000. And
how many times have they hosted?
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 3 regionals that they have hosted over the years. They're one of those teams you don't want to see come to your place as a 2 seed because they're capable offensively. Most years they're capable of offensively going out there and
when
making things hard on you.
You look at some of the totals and some of the scores when they get into postseason play. I mean, I think it's them in Oklahoma State that their parks play really hitting friendly.
Yeah,
and there's some wind involved. I think that is pretty consistent in those plays. But I mean, you're talking about some regional totals that get close to 20.
Yeah. The warm weather and the wind blowing out. Sure.
Yes.
And you take the over.
Absolutely.
Because it's excruciating to take. Excruciating.
Those Army Navy unders in football, Charlie. You go under. I tell you what, you got to. As you transition, talking about styles and stuff like Alabama overs, and you just had your Tennessee under in college hoops, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, against LSU.
They play each other. So, whose tempo is going to win out?
Games in Tuscaloosa, right? Games in Knoxville.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Then Tennessee's got a better chance, obviously, but Alabama just forces you to play that style, man.
Well, you can slow it down. It's easier to slow it down than it is to get an opponent to. It's easier to slow down an opponent than to speed up an opponent.
True. You
got to get your little your point guard that has 1,000 starts to kind of calm down.
Yeah.
You think he gets caught up in it a little bit?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the most famous games as far as that tempo of all time involved Alabama, except they were on the other end when they slowed Loyola Marymount down in that tournament
pre-shot
game.
Clock.
It was No, it wasn't pre-shot clock. It was.
Yes, it was.
No, that was.
They didn't have shot. Loyola Marymount
1990
didn't have shot clock.
1990. I thought they had a shot clock, but anyway, they were passing up layups in that game.
Was
to
it
kick
like
it
45-second shot clock?
Yeah, that was a 40-second shot clock, but I thought there was a shot clock. I'll check it, but anyway, they were passing up open shots. I'm not suggesting Tennessee.
No, they were
passing up layups.
No, Wimp Sanders. No, we go into control, and they did, and they
game
was
it in the
60
60s,
or something like
64-62, I think, or 64-60. But Marymount was scoring 120 a game back then. So Tennessee wants to play. Tennessee's perfect game would probably be something like 70-65, and Alabama's going to be very hard to keep in that range. They're just going to run, and they're going to shoot. And if they make enough threes early and you get behind, then it's hard to stay. It's hard to stay true to that style if you start to fall behind.
So, I went to the game when Ole Miss, and I thought this is one of the weakest Oats coaching jobs that I've seen. They let Ole Miss. I mean, they did not try and speed Ole Miss up at all. And they played. You look at it, it's probably the lowest they've scored in a conference game this year when they lost. And they never tried to pressure them. Nothing to try and up the tempo. They just were content, played half court, and they got beat at home by Ole Miss, which shouldn't happen. And so Tennessee wants you to get in a rock fight. They're going to defend you. It's going to be interesting.
Their low point total in conference play, besides that Ole Miss game we just referenced, is 85.
85 is the lowest.
85 is the
58
lowest,
or something. In that game?
Yeah, I'm sorry, 80. LSU. They beat LSU 80-73.
And what did they score against Ole Miss?
64.
First by 16 points, huh?
I would imagine they're going to go put that Ole Miss film in there, but I don't know. I would. What do you think the total will be? I mean,
you're going to split the difference about 140, maybe 140, 43, 144.
And I would be real tempted to play over in that game because it's not like Tennessee hasn't had some game. The game with Missouri was a game that they played.
No, that was
80s.
at home.
Yeah, but it was a game. But they're capable of playing a game in the 80s.
That's probably the best they've shot from the floor. And
yeah,
that's where even in a loss, wait a minute, Tennessee shot the ball well, and you're right there with them at their place. That's when I gained a lot of respect for Missouri. I mean, we know they're going to defend, and we know they go through scoring droughts sometimes. But when they shot like that, and Missouri was right there, I was like, oh, this Missouri team is legit.
Yeah. The other, we talked about A&M and Vanderbilt. We talked about Oklahoma and Kentucky. We had also the late game, BYU and Arizona State. We talked a little bit about that game yesterday. Is Bobby Hurley on his way out?
He has to be.
I would think.
He has to be. I was wrong on that when I lost. Catching like 8 at home. They lose by 10. No, look, it wasn't a three-pointer. The last score was a three-pointer by Arizona State. Go for 13-10. So it wasn't like a horrendous beat.
Yeah.
Like that BS you had in Michigan State last night. Okay?
Led the whole way. Led the whole way.
55-footer. Yes, routine.
Led the whole way.
Exactly. That's why when you're going into overtime, I can't. Some people are criticizing Maryland for shooting too early. Okay, yeah, that's easy. After the guy hits a 50,
they inbound the ball with what, 8 seconds to go, 9 seconds to go, and he shot it with 2.8, I believe. I will take a shot to win the game with 2.8 seconds. If you get a perfect rebound, you come back and you hit a 55-footer. God bless. Okay, I'm not gonna.
Jimmy's a Kai Ziegler. He wouldn't have shot it. You know,
he loses track of the shot clock. Yeah, he'd have just run the clock out.
He may pay attention to.
He
the
wouldn't
game
have shot
clock.
too early. Yeah,
the game clock he may pay attention to.
One of the most famous point guards in the history of the game lost track of the shot clock in the NBA Finals. Jimmy, you remember the game? Lost track of the shot clock in the Boston Garden. Magic Johnson. It was the 85
I remember when
Finals.
Isaiah and them threw the ball, and that's why, like, when I listen to people,
But it happened to Magic once, once.
He was a pretty high basketball IQ guy.
Yes,
I mean,
the highest of all time. But it happened once, big game, but once.
That's what it is. I mean, the way they praise the Kai Ziegler, some of the media, it's like, I mean, is he Isaiah Thomas? Am I missing something? He's just not that good. I mean, but I can tell you, if they're going to make a run, he's going to have to play well.
Right.
He's going to have to play well. He can't do his foolishness because he's going to hamstring him. But I mean, is Barnes, is he going to get over the hump? That's crazy. That program, the Ernie and Bernie show. I know that's really old, Max. But Bernard King and Ernie Grunfeld were two All-American level players on the same team, and they didn't go to the Final Four.
What's the furthest Don DeVoe went with Dale Ellis?
Like Sweet 16.
Yeah,
he never went to a regional.
Never
final.
got
Pearl
to
went to one regional final, and
Jerry Green had some uber talented teams that underachieved.
Good.
No, he was a terrible coach, but he had some really talented teams.
Two regional finals is all I can remember. One under Pearl, I think they played Oregon, and one on last year with Dalton Connect. The Purdue regional final. That's it.
That was a terrific game.
Now you remember, of course, Barnes has been to a Final Four
with Texas.
That was in New Orleans with Byron Mouton and those guys.
The year Syracuse won it, right?
Yes, Carmelo and them. Beat them in the dome in the semifinal.
How many winning?
McNamara was on fire in that tournament.
How many winning seasons in 11 conference seasons has Bobby Hurley had?
He's been at Arizona State for 11 years.
This is his 11th season.
It's funny.
I'm sorry, 10th. 10 seasons.
He's been to like maybe 2 tournaments.
He has been to 3 tournaments.
Yeah, he's a bad coach.
I actually got there one year with a losing record in Big 12 play. Pac-12 play. His overall conference winning record is 45%.
He got the player gene. His brother got the coach gene.
Yes,
he is not. If his name wasn't Hurley, he wouldn't have been going long. He's got talent. That team has talent. They have length. They have shot makers. They got guys and he does a poor job, man.
3 winning conference seasons in 10 years at Arizona
Herb
State.
Sendek, who was at Arizona State for a little bit, NC State, was, I think, Miami, Ohio for a little bit. Half court, I mean, straight. You watch him play at Santa Clara right now? I mean, he's had a complete change, a basketball-style metamorphosis, Charlie.
I like that. Basketball-style metamorphosis.
I heard Loomis use that word.
I'm going to go home and do.
I got some Colucci picks.
Cool.
So Colucci gave us 2 picks. So he was up against it. So he's got the Canadians and the Islanders. So Montreal and the New York Islanders as we get back to playing our regular hockey schedule, NHL schedule, after the they call it Four Nations tournament.
Might be the last time they ever do that.
Real? No.
There will be a different
Get
rendition.
me on that.
There will be a different rendition.
Okay,
They'll add nations, but the
Okay.
4 nations as is probably won't happen.
Okay, that's fine. But that's coming back. You don't have success like that and not roll it back. And, yeah, we want to see Russia or some other – yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Don't forget our friends over at Supreme Rice and SupremeRice.com every Monday. Boy, I get that Supreme Rice. It's either white beans. It's actually Sunday evening. I'll start them. Put the white beans or red beans in a slow cooker with the Holy Trinity, the celery, the onions, the peppers, the bay leaves, the seasoning, all that good stuff. Get you a ham bone. That's really good.
Yeah.
You know what I did? Some pork ribs and just put them in a slow cooker. Man, it just came off the bone. Gives it a good little flavor as well. Anything like that, man. You talk about really good stuff. Some people put garlic. I'm not so sure about that. But I love my rice. I've always wondered why I could not get restaurant quality rice. I got it. It's the parboiled rice. It's available whatever grocery store you usually pick up your Supreme Rice. Look for the parboiled rice. It is a high-grade, high-quality rice. Our friends, and look, taking care of Louisiana farmers, generational. That's right. We've been doing it for a long time, but also looking out for the future of Louisiana rice farmers as well. Supreme Rice and SupremeRice.com.
Live at the original Walk-Ons. Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Looking for a driving experience that goes beyond the ordinary? At Genesis of Baton Rouge, luxury is more than just a word. It's our promise to you. From cutting edge.
Say when.
It's rolling.
This is Charles Hanniger. Join us for the Friday edition of Live at Lunch from Rufino's on Highland Road. We're getting you ready for a big weekend in college basketball and college baseball. Troy Macker and Bruce Marshall join the show. Live at Lunch from Rufino's, 11 a.m. Friday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Your monthly bills and prolong the life of your central air conditioner. Right now, mention my name or Jimmy Ott and get $100 off that service. Down from $179 to $79. Call Total Maintenance for generators, electricity, and plumbing issues. In Baton Rouge, 480-1000. And in New Orleans, call 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
It's a new year. Aren't you ready to finally get the IRS off your back? Hi, I'm attorney Kerry Bryson with the Bryson Law Firm. We've helped so many people figure out their IRS issues, and they always tell us they wish they'd called us sooner. Friends, the IRS isn't going away. Matter of fact, they're ramping up their efforts. So now's the time to call the Bryson Law Firm and let us get between you and the IRS and make your life better. If you have wage levies, bank levies, tax liens, or unpaid taxes, call the Bryson Law Firm and let us get out in front of the IRS and devise your best resolution plan. IRS problems are legal problems. So call the Bryson Law Firm. We're local. Our headquarters are in Lafayette, and we have offices statewide. Or visit BrysonLawFirm.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm. The Bryson Law Firm. Results may vary. LSBA filing number LA2316155.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111 and OCBrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt.
As football winds down, college basketball is gearing up. Fans are ready to see which teams will prove they are ready to shine in March and who will be seen in San Antonio. You can get on all the action from tip-off to the final whistle at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Right now, new ESPN Bet Sportsbook customers can bet $10 to get $100 in bonus bets and unlock 30 days of ESPN+. Download the app and sign up with the promo code Radio100 to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700 in partnership with LeVares Lake Charles. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Ochsner Orthopedics Walk-In Clinic offers more than just treatment for sports injuries. With comprehensive orthopedic care in their lineup, patients can get x-rays and treatment for sprains, strains, and fractures, all without the ER wait. Whether it's a weekend warrior mishap or a weekday workout injury, Ochsner Orthopedics Walk-In Clinic is there to help you stay active and strong. For injuries big or small, they have patients covered. Now open late and on weekends inside the Elite Training Complex Burbank, 5444 Burbank Drive.
Power outages are unpredictable, so stay ready with a Generac home standby generator from Boudreaux's Electrical Services. Trusted in South Louisiana, we provide expert installation and service. Call 225-300-9389 or visit BoudreauxElectrical.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the original Walk-Ons on Burbank on 1045 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Max, your Pelicans have won 3 out of 4. Not that the games mean absolutely nothing, and wins
Well, they
actually
do.
hurt.
Yeah, they do mean something. They're not good.
Right. Kelly Olynyk has been a good addition for them. They're not getting
I don't want to see him.
They're not getting crushed on the boards now. They play the Suns tonight. This is the first of 2 with Phoenix,
30.
who's a mess. But I hope they get it together tonight. The Suns.
Yes.
That is. First time the Pelicans have been out of the top 3 in the draft lottery in, probably all season.
Top 3 all have the same odds to get the number 1 pick.
Right, that's why you got to
it's
stay in
relevant.
it.
Yeah.
4 is not terrible, but it's the first time they've been outside of the top 3. Tomorrow we're at Rufino's. Thanks to the folks here at the original Walk-Ons. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Have at lunch.
The Gulf Coast has long been a key hub.
All right, you guys have a good one.
Thank you, Jordan. You too.
100 years of history
Thank
in
you, Jordan.
Louisiana. Shell remains committed
No problem.
to forming our business. Our promise to deliver lower carbon fuels and products.